The first one that we're going to mix up is the swim stim. The key thing is you do this effectively the wrong way round from ground bait, or the way that I mix it up anyway. So you're actually adding the ground bait to water. So first thing to do, get some lake water, about as much as you're going to need, probably about a pint or so. If we, like I say, we're going to fish it for a few hours today, so I'm going to mix up a fair bit, but it's nice and simple to mix. So you can, you know, say if you run out, you've always got time to mix a bit more up. And it's just a simple case of adding the ground bait to the water. As you can see there, it looks a bit strange because it's the wrong way around, but just gradually mixing that in. And as I say, because it's almost like a slop or over-wetted ground bait, you've got to let this settle and give the particles plenty of time to absorb the water. It's amazing how much it will thicken up. If you mix it, say, to the consistency where you're almost ready to fish with it, before you've actually let it settle, then by the time you come to fish with it, it'll have gone a bit too stiff and a bit too grainy, and it's more likely to sort of break up off the hook. And as I say, if you create it too stodgy, then you're going to miss a lot of bites as well. So you can see there, you're sort of mixing it into a consistency kind of like porridge almost. But as you can see, it's still very runny. There's no way that I can actually pick that up. So that's almost there really. Just need a little bit more ground bait. Again, not tons, and it's always worth just taking your time with it. As you can see, as soon as I've added that small amount there, it's immediately started to bind a lot more. And again, it's just a case of working that round in the bait tub. One thing that you'll see also next to my seat box is an atomizer. Now, I always carry one of those when it comes to paste fishing, especially on warm days. Not so much today, but quite often what will happen is your paste will dry out a little bit over the course of the session, so it's always worth having an atomizer there. You can just slightly over wet it and tweak the mix as the day goes on. As you can see though, that's almost there now. It's just starting to bind. As you can see, it's an absolute slop at the moment, but what will happen in about an hour's time, once I've left that to one side, it'll be the absolute perfect consistency for paste fishing. As you can see there, not quite stiff enough yet, but it's amazing how much that will stiffen up as time goes on. So like I say, that's the swim stim paste mixed up. And you can see from a pint of water, you don't need much ground bait at all to that. And that's nearly sort of a pint and a half of bait mixed up, and that's absolutely perfect.